welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Prime, Beast Hunters Cyberverse Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Originally released in February of 2013, this guy retailed for approximately $13. This guy is pretty small. He's approximately 3.5 inches long and about 1.5 inches tall here in truck mode, but this was the first time that we got to see in toy form what the new Optimus Prime was going to look like in Beast Hunters. We all knew that in Transformers Prime, he nearly got destroyed or killed or whatnot towards the end of Prime there, and he got reformatted. And this was kind of like the first time that we got to see what his new form was going to look like. Very, very cool. So, as you can see here, Prime went back to being a flat cap truck, and this time around, this guy has like some claws in the front here, and then he had like this cage in the back that was meant to, according to the toy, or like the stuff that came with the toy, he was going to be catching dragons and putting them in this cage in the back, but we actually never saw that happen on the show. So, but yeah, it's still very cool little figure. I really like the way this truck looks. It just looks beefy and powerful. It just looks like something that you're going to want to get out of the way when you see it in traffic. It rolls okay. This is when they started introducing this new style of the wheels for Transformers, so it works about as well as it's going to work. I really kind of miss the pin joints. And I painted the inside of these silver. Now the wheel spokes themselves were painted silver on the original toy, but then the inside, the clips where the wheels actually grab onto, they were the same color as the plastic behind them. So this one in here was red and these two were blue. And I just took the wheels off and painted those silver and then put the wheels back in. So kind of make it look a little more cohesive. Just going all the way around, very cool. I like the little black windows. A lot of silver trim on this guy. It looks really nice. I like that grill. And again, I really just like these claws or teeth or whatever these are in the front there. Really enjoy that. Got your smokestacks there on the side that are painted in. They did a pretty good job of painting this guy. I was really, really happy with this. And this is something that I miss seeing in some of the newer toys. They really just don't put that many paint details in these, especially in the smaller toys anymore. So, this guy did come with a couple of accessories. He did come with a sword right here, which we're going to be using later on in robot mode. And again, as much as I don't like to do this, the toy does come with these pegs here on the side, there and there. So you can take your weapons and just plug them into the side there if you so wish. So there's one. And then he also came with this little weapon. It's kind of like a little missile launcher or something. It's just a little friction missile. You just grab him by the peg here. You push on the missile in the back here, and it's going to shoot it off. Sometimes it does it better than others. Obviously, that time was not so great. See if I can do a good one. Yeah. These friction missiles, they're not so great. And again, you can plug it in right here on the side if you wish, which I'm not a fan of. But at least in this case, that doesn't look terribly out of place just because the truck is so wacky. That doesn't look terribly out of place. But personally, I prefer to just leave them off and just see the truck as is. So there you go. There's Optimus in truck mode. And getting into transformation, I really like the transformation on this guy. It does something very unique, very interesting, something we've never seen on these toys before up to this point, I believe. And it's something that reminds me a lot of the animation of Hot Rod in the original Transformers animated movie. So, getting into transformation, we're just going to split the truck here in the center, and we're going to split the back here to form the legs. This part of the cage is going to rotate down and around and is going to clip into place to form the front of the legs. Reach down here and pull his little feet out and pull those out until they clip in place, just like that. Bring this down, and then we're going to take the top of the truck here. We're going to separate. These are going to be the arms, so just bring these down. And they're on hinges here. They're on double hinges here, so you bring these down, rotate them on this hinge up here, and then finish bringing them down all the way, so that they're out like this. Now, these pieces here where the arms are at, let's bring the camera up some. These pieces here, this whole piece here where the arms are at, this is going to spin around. And let me see what's the best way to show it. So you can see right there, it's like this thing is on a loop around this shaft here in the center. So this whole thing is going to spin around. Just going to get the legs out of the way here. And these are going to spin around, and this is something that I remember seeing Rodimus do, or Hot Rod, rather, do at one point in the movie. If you watch the original animated Transformers movie, Hot Rod, every time he transformed differently. There was like 7 different transformation sequences for him in that movie. But at one point, his arms go up behind his torso and spin around, just like this guy did. And I don't believe we'd ever seen that before up until this toy. So separate this piece here and turn it around. That's going to be our arms. Bring this down, turn it around for the other arm. Now, the torso here, this is going to be interesting. So you see these 2 little hooks here, and there's the 2 slots for the hooks right back there. So you're going to want to accordion this down so that the hooks fall behind the torso. These are not going to clip in. These are going to come in behind the torso, and this is extremely difficult to show in camera. So bring them in behind the torso like that, and then it's going to slide forward and in. And it's just so difficult to do in front of the camera when I'm looking through the phone. So there you go. And then just slide those into place. So they don't really clip into place. They just kind of come in behind and then slide forward into place. And that's going to clip the torso into place, straightening them out. And then finally, you just saw back here, reach back here and pull out the head. And there is Optimus in his robot mode. And I think he looks really cool. Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 4 inches tall. And bringing them in close for detail. The head, not the best head that we've seen, especially for the Prime series. But because it's kind of like a flat piece there, as you can see. But at least it does do a good job of conveying the Optimus Prime look, especially the Optimus Prime from Beast Hunters, where he had the longer antennas on the side and whatnot. So there you go. So there's the head for Optimus. And getting into articulation, a lot of ball joints, just like you usually see on these smaller figures. You're going to see a lot of ball joints. So ball joint at the shoulder, ball joint at the elbow here. No rotation at the waist. Nothing at the head again. It's only up and down for the transformation. Ball joint at the hip, and then you've got a pin joint at the knee. So, and then again, you got the little pin joint right there for transformation at the foot. So, nice range of motion. You can pose this guy fairly well. And now you can bring in his weapons. And he's got a sword, which fits okay right there in his hand. And then again, you can bring in his little missile launcher gun and give it to him right there. And we'll try and fire this thing off one more time. Let's see if we can blow somebody's face off. There you go. See, these are really give and take on these. Sometimes they fire good, sometimes they don't. That time it fired very well. So, all right, so there you go. There's Optimus Prime. There's Beast Hunter Cyberverse Optimus Prime. I think he looks pretty good. There was another version of this figure that came out, and it was a Voyager size. It was like basically this exact same figure. Some of the things that are not so great about this one were fixed on that. For example, the smokestacks being on the inside of the forearm. These are huge eyesores. I'm really not a big fan of that in this figure. The bigger figure managed to fix that. And then again, like I said, it was this exact same mold, but done in a little bit bigger than a Voyager size. I've reviewed that figure previously. It was very, very cool. I absolutely love that figure. So there you go. Very cool addition to any Transformers or any Optimus Prime collection. This certainly has a very cherished place on my Optimus Prime shelf. And I think that about covers Transformers Prime, Beast Hunters, Cyberverse Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.